Good morning everybody to the first of this week's English lessons. This week in writing we are going to be writing more diary entries, but this time we're going to be writing from the point of view of Mina. Now that's a totally different point of view and character voice than the one we've been writing previously where we've written as Michael. Mina is very confident, very outgoing, whereas Michael's very shy and unsure of himself. So the tone of our diary entry is going to sound completely different. Before we get into that though, I'd like you to read chapter 32 of Skellig. When you've done that, have a go at our handwriting for today. The word is flew. Remember the F in flew ascends and descends. Make it all joined, please. That's absolutely essential. And when you've done that, come back to this PowerPoint. So we're going to be writing, as I've said, from the point of view of Mina. Now, like I said before, Mina's really confident, really self-assured. She doesn't go to school, she's homeschooled, and she's very, very intelligent. Don't let the fact that she doesn't actually attend a physical school sort of throw you off there. She's very, very clever. So I want that to come through in your writing. Today we're actually going to plan it, so you should be able to find the planning template there, and we're only planning 3 days worth of diary entries, whereas with Michael we planned 4. The 3 we're going to focus on are the first one, when Mina meets Michael for the first time. Now last week when we did this, we wrote from Michael's point of view when he first met Mina. It's that same chapter, but you're going to write it from a different point of view. So you may want to go back and read your diary entry from Michael's point of view and see how we can alter it and change it to give it Mina's voice. The second diary entry you're going to be planning is when Mina tells Michael about her homeschooling and how she teaches him how to hoot like an owl, and that's chapter 15 in the book. So have a good read of that and make sure you put into your plan all of the key points within that chapter. And then the final one we're going to be writing this week is when Mina meets Skellig for the first time, which is chapter 20. So again, have a good read of that. Bullet point all of your notes from that chapter so that you don't miss out anything in her diary entry, and include all that crucial information in your plan, and then you'll be done for today. Good morning, it's Tuesday's writing lesson. First things first, can you read chapter 33 of Skellig, please, and then come back to this PowerPoint. Now for today's lesson, you're going to need the plan that you produced yesterday, because we're going to be writing the first diary entry where Mina meets Michael for the first time. Now it's only a very, very brief meeting, and it's written about in chapter 7 of the book. So if you're unsure, you need a reminder, go back and read that chapter. You want to be including lots of key information, but what we're really focusing on this week is that your diary entry this week sounds completely different to the diary entry you were writing last week as Michael. The tone of your voice, and it's called the author's voice. The author's voice should come through in your writing. You want to sound really confident. You want to sound really outgoing and assured. You want to sound just like Mina does in the book. So read a couple of the chapters in the story, see how David Almond, the author of Skellig, actually writes Mina, and have that tone of voice coming through as you're writing about her. So your challenge today, you want about 10 or 15 lines, write about Mina meeting Michael for the first time. Good morning, it's Wednesday's writing lesson. As always, the first thing I'd like you to do is to read a chapter of Skellig, and today it's chapter 34. So once you've read that, come back to this PowerPoint. Okay, so what you will have noticed between the slide between today's lesson and yesterday's lesson is your success criteria. So those things that we really want you to be including in your writing, which you should be able to do, considering we focused a lot on it last week in school when we were writing as Michael. Now, we're writing our second diary entry today, where Mina talks to Michael about the fact that she's homeschooled and she teaches him how to hoot like an owl. You're going to reread chapter 15 to make sure you've got all your information there, and you're going to use your plan alongside it. What I want you to do though as well, once you've finished this, is to edit your work as you go along. So once you've finished writing your diary entry for today, edit it and go back and have a little look at yesterday's work and have an edit of that as well, please. So when you're editing, you're looking at spelling, punctuation, grammar. Does it all make sense? Are all your words spelt correctly? Have you used that higher level punctuation that we expect of you in year 6? Have you found a way to get a question in your writing? Have you found a way to use brackets for extra information? Or have you just used full stops and capital letters all the way through? If you have, that's not year 6 level writing. So you need to go back and improve your work in some way. So today's challenge, write your diary entry about Mina explaining to Michael about homeschooling, and then go back, edit today's work and edit yesterday's as well. Good morning, it's Thursday's writing lesson. First things first, read chapter 35 of Skellig, please, and then when you've done that, come back to this PowerPoint. So today we are writing the third diary entry from Mina's point of view, remembering to use Mina's voice all the way through, so it should sound like Mina when I am reading your diary entry. This is the chapter today we're writing about when Mina meets Skellig for the first time. So think about all those emotions that she's feeling. Think about what a curious person Mina is, all of the questions she might have that she doesn't necessarily get a chance to ask. Reread chapter 20 so that you're sure you're covering everything. And again, write about how Mina feels about Michael in that situation. Obviously, she's got to be very trusting of him, hasn't she, in order to feel safe in that situation. Because if you were taken into a sort of a creepy garage by someone and found somebody who looks very unwell in there, it would be quite a scary situation. So I think it shows how much Mina trusts Michael. So make sure you include things along that line as well. Again, just like we did yesterday, using the success criteria, after you've written it, I'd like you to edit and improve your work. So just as a reminder, that is again checking for spelling, punctuation, grammar. And again, improving it means that you're not sort of repeating the same adjectives all the time. You're using a dictionary, finding synonyms for them. And that'll be about it for today. So get that done and you're done for Thursday. Good morning, everybody. Thank goodness it is finally Friday. Today in our English lesson, it's going to be a SPAG lesson, and we're going to be focusing on commas. Now, you will have done a lot of work on commas in year 3, year 4 and year 5. So this should really just be a recap for you, because remember, our SATs tests are a combination. They're not just a year 6 test, they're a key stage 2 test. So they're testing you on things that you've learned in 3, 4, 5 and 6. So today, you should be able to find on our website, it's dated for today, 9.10.20. A SPAG sheet all about commas, and what that sheet includes, or it's about 6 pages long, is all of the SAT questions that there have ever been where commas are involved. So I'd like you to work through that sheet and answer those questions as best you can. You need to read the questions really carefully, because sometimes it's asking you to add in 1 comma into a sentence, sometimes it's asking you to add up to 3. Sometimes it's asking you to tick the correct box to show whether commas have been used correctly or not. Sometimes it's that questions are asking you why commas have been used. Now, as a reminder, commas can be used to separate items in a list. They can be used to introduce speech, and they can be used to mark clauses in sentences, amongst other things. So there are lots and lots of different ways that commas can be used. As you're doing these questions, it'll probably jog your memory, to be honest, and hopefully what you'll be able to do then is start using commas again correctly in your writing. So have a go at this test. Don't panic if you don't understand any of the questions. Miss them out and come back to them later, but I would like you to have a go at everything, please. So good luck. I think it's only, like I say, 6 pages long. Should be nice and quick for you to do, and then you can have a lovely weekend.